Hello, I'm Angel Rojas with DataCorps Technology Solutions. Today is Thursday, November 11th, 2021, and this is your Threat Landscape Update. Hi, and thank you for joining us. I appreciate the opportunity and the blessing that it is to come and do these updates for you. First off, before we get started, today is Veterans Day, so I want to wish a very happy Veterans Day to all of our clients who have served and your team members who have served. Thank you very much for your service. My family and I appreciate it very much. And also want to point out that we also want to wish a very happy Veterans Day to Kimberly and Lee and our team, that both of them have served in the military, and we are very proud of their service and thank them for that as well. So let's get started with this week's items that we are watching. The first one is your your cybersecurity statistic that will help you prevent a breach. And the first stat we're going to talk about, or actually this is what I think the fifth that we're talking about, is that the majority of known data breaches involve the loss of personal data, followed by medical data. And if you're like me, the financial data I'm very interested in because I don't want my personal and financial data out there. I don't want somebody to pretend to be me and then cause me a bunch of hardship by registering for credit cards or applying for loans or withdrawing money from my account and causing me a problem. So I've worked really hard to have a good credit score and to maintain a good financial record. And I would hate for somebody to go and mess that up. So that one's really the most obvious one that I want to point out that we're all pretty familiar with and interested in as far as having that protected. But our medical data, that's pretty interesting. I guess I didn't really care that much because I don't have any underlying medical issues or anything that really would be that big a deal if it got out there. But I was talking to a friend of mine, Lisa Shastine. She is a privacy attorney, and she gets to see all of these types of situations come up and how they affect people. And she brought to me, to my attention, something really, really interesting. And that is that with medical data, if somebody were to steal your identity using medical data and then would obtain medical services as you, that creates some medical history there. And if that medical history maybe doesn't get caught and maybe creates a conflict, for example, let's say the pretend me goes in and requires blood and has a different blood type than mine. And the doctors, and emergency physicians and emergency personnel, in the moment of somebody being hurt, will do whatever it needs to be done to give them service and to help keep them alive. So let's just say that they get the wrong type of blood, the wrong blood type. It's right for them, wrong for me, and that goes in the medical record and nobody catches that after the fact. Let's say then that I go in and I have to have surgery or something and I have a blood transfusion and the wrong blood type is given to me and I am harmed by it. That's just one of the many different situations, such as allergies or medications or reactions or anything else that could affect someone in a medical situation. So that is why we should care and why we should be interested in our medical data as well as our financial data. So to me, that's pretty frightening. And so what do I do about it? Well, one of the great things you can do is talk to your professionals, right? Talk to your doctors, talk to your CPA, talk to your attorney, talk to your wealth management folks. Ask them, when is the last time that you've had a risk assessment and what were the results? Have they been remediated yet? What that does is it gives you a few pieces of information. Number one, it tells you how sophisticated they are with regards to handling private data and protecting it as well. And number two, it gives you an idea of how often they're visiting that and how top of mind that is. And if they cannot answer that question affirmatively, do not be harsh on them, but you need to know. It is your data. It is your livelihood and it could be your life. So you should know how that data is being protected and that it is being protected properly. You don't have to get it perfect, right? You hear me talk about just get started a little bit, do a little bit, and that will get you ahead of the pack. You don't have to get it perfect, neither do they. But that extra bit of attention and just knowing that they're thinking about it critically, or that their IT company, their professionals are thinking about it and walking them through it and putting some thought into it, it goes a long way. It really does. So that little bit of prevention can be worth a pound of cure there, for a little pun there. Since we're talking about medical stuff. Okay, I'll move on. Next thing is I want to thank all of you for giving us the trust to bring on our new email protections. They are on and live, and essentially what it is it is a firewall that hides another one of our interfaces for our mail server from the internet. And so the mail server is now behind that firewall as well. We already had a firewall in front of it, but this is a different type of firewall that's very specific to web pages. So if you were using Outlook Web Access, or if you were using Microsoft ActiveSync, or even Outlook, this is an extra layer of protection that goes between them, and it examines those packets even closer than before. So we're excited to have that in place. There are other systems that we have that support DataCorps and that support you that will be placing behind that system. It is a very complicated task, so that's why we can't just wholesale go and put everything behind it right away. It can take some fine tuning to troubleshoot and get it tuned just right so that it doesn't start rejecting valid requests and then end up having an outage. So we appreciate that. We're going to be bringing along new systems and more systems behind it. And if any of those affect you, or there's a potential for any of them to affect you, we will definitely be in touch. So thank you very much for your patience with our team as we work through that. The next item I want to talk to you about are the firewall audits. Our team is always discussing security, discussing protection, and ways that we configure our networks or design our networks in order to protect you, in order to bring you the very best. So we have a network prototype that we work off of, and that network prototype dictates how we segment the network, how we configure a firewall, how we allow traffic through. And that prototype always changes. It never stays the same. So what we do is we go around, and once we've established a new baseline, then we have to go through and make sure that all of our firewalls, all of your firewalls, are configured consistent to that standard. So we do that regularly, and we're going to be doing that here shortly. So just wanted to let you know that that's on our docket. We're going to be taking care of that here shortly to make sure that, again, we're consistent across our entire install footprint so that you're getting the very best protection. And that's one of the keys about managed services that we provide, okay? It is not a static thing. Once we take you on as a client, we are always polishing and refining your network. It may not be something visible. If we do it really well, you don't get to see it. But we are doing it constantly. It's a constant moving target because cybersecurity changes every single day. So it's a moving target. We are constantly making changes and little tweaks as new information is available, as new tools are available, and as new strategies, techniques, and tactics are available. We are always changing them to make sure that you have the very best protection. So I want to let you know that's coming up over the next month or so. It takes us a while to get through all the firewalls. We're very blessed to have a great install base and a lot of clients, but it does make it quite a task to go through and do firewall audits. So just want to let you know that's coming up. And a reminder, save your work. As we're going through and updating systems, patching them, and running maintenance, there is a chance that your system could reboot. So make sure you're constantly saving your work. It's a great practice anyway. And if you have questions about saving your work or enabling any kind of autosave, please let us know. Just remember, applications like QuickBooks, Peachtree, and others do not have some of that functionality and do not close graciously and can come back up in a failed state whenever there's a reboot and things like that. So if you ever run into that issue, our team will be sure to handle it and take care of you. But just wanted to remind you, save your work. Make sure you log off your computer every day. If you want to reboot it at the end of the day, that's great. It leaves it in a great state for us to come in and do patching and do any kind of maintenance on it. So thank you very much for that. And finally, Are you and your team training? I'm going to hammer on this over and over again because it is that important. So today's Thursday morning, that's my training morning. I got my training this morning on vishing, which is voice phishing, where somebody actually calls your cell phone and tries to engage you in a manner that could cause you to compromise your personal information. So that was today's training. If you're not training, I want to encourage you to train. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the opportunity to come and do these threat landscape updates for you. You are a blessing to me. I appreciate you very much. And thank you for watching. Be sure to share this with your team, share it with your colleagues, share it with your family. There could be a little bit of nugget of information here that could keep them from being a victim of a cyber attack. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day, and I'll talk to you soon.